Imagine an impossible mission. You have to infiltrate enemy territory, you're outmanned, outgunned, stuck with a civilian transport, a crew that's falling apart, and oh yeah, there's a saboteur lurking somewhere. How would you even begin to lead in that situation?
It's a nightmare scenario, really.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your sources, unpack the vital insights, and help you get informed fast.
Glad to be diving in.
Today, we're plunging into a really gripping story from the heart of the Dominion War. That's this huge interstellar conflict between the Federation and the Dominion from the Gamma Quadrant.
A truly brutal war.
This deep dive covers desperation, ingenuity, unexpected heroism against just overwhelming odds. We're focusing on Captain Picard leading this extraordinary group on a captured civilian ship.
And the mission, it could literally decide the fate of the Federation.
Exactly. So our mission for you today is to pull out the critical lessons here. We'll look at the complex moral compromises leaders face under pressure.
The resilience people find in adversity, too, and how individual personalities, loyalties, even past traumas become so critical when everything's on the line.
Right. By the end, you'll get a real visceral sense of what it means to fight a war when hope is almost gone, and the enemy might be standing right next to you.
And this isn't just speculation. Our dive is based on a compelling Starfleet account detailing this phase of the war. It gives this unique glimpse, into the struggles far behind enemy lines.
It's more than just a simple report, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's like a masterclass in crisis leadership. It just lays bare the gritty reality. Grand strategies often come down to the courage and quick thinking of just a few people.
Shows how fast the rulebook gets thrown out.
Yeah.
Survival's the only thing that matters.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's get into it. The story kicks off with this ironically named ship, the Orb of Peace. It's a civilian transport, camouflaged, crewed by Bajorans, spiritual humanoids with the nose ridges, the earrings. Even Picard and Geordi LaForge are disguised, wearing the ridges and earrings.
Right, trying to blend in. But the actual Bajoran in command, the real thing, as the source calls her, is Captain Ro Lauren, an ex-Maquis officer leading this captured vessel.
And this crew, wow. It's immediately clear how complex and volatile it is.
Yeah, you've got Sam Lavelle, just escaped from a Dominion prison. He's traumatized, obviously, but incredibly driven.
The source notes this poignant moment where he looks at Ro Lauren and apologizes, saying, "It's funny what even a small taste of freedom will do to a man."
Heavy stuff. And he knew Ensign Cito Jaxa from the Enterprise, right? Friend of Rose, too, killed by the Kardashians, the militaristic race from the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah, the account says that connection fueled Sam's gung-ho attitude. Ro also knew Cito and Wesley Crusher.
Then there's Enrat Groff, brilliant Trill scientist. Trill's, host symbionts, access past lives.
Right.
He actually designed the artificial wormhole they need to destroy, but he seems purely in it for the science and the glory. Self-serving, basically.
Not exactly team player material.
Yeah, not at all. And then, maybe the most unsettling, Hazmek, a one-armed Romulan spy. Romulans being, secretive, cunning, often adversaries. His loyalty, constantly in question.
Plus a lot of other ex-prisoners, many traumatized.
Yeah.
It just adds to the instability.
It's a powder keg, like you said, and the mission stakes are just immense.
It's objective. Destroy the Dominion's artificial wormhole. It's basically a super collider punching a hole through space, meant to bring reinforcements from the Gamma Quadrant, the Dominion's home turf.
A game changer if they succeed. But then Sam drops this bombshell.
Yeah, the ethical dilemma. Thousands of Starfleet prisoners are forced laborers on the collider. Sam just lays it out. If your mission is to destroy the artificial wormhole, your mission is to destroy them too.
Oof. How do you even process that? It's not just tactical, it's soul-crushing.
It really is. This is that tragic choice leaders sometimes face, isn't it?
Exactly. Picard can't save everyone. He's forced into optimizing for the greater good, even if it means sacrificing his own people. The insight isn't just that he makes the choice, but how he then has to lead the team forward.
And the psychological toll must be immense.
Unimaginable. And on top of that moral weight, they have almost nothing. The Orb of Peace is civilian, started with one photon torpedo. That powerful energy weapon lost others, fighting through patrols, pirates, Romulans.
Sam's observation says it all. Their demolition squad is a little short-handed.
A little is putting it mildly.
So, with this volatile crew, impossible mission, they head into the Badlands. The source paints this picture. Brown magenta cloud, surreal Christmas wreath of light.
But also full of deadly plasma storms.
Yeah. Lauren knows the area from before.
But Hazmek, the Romulan, he smugly claims he knows it better. says most current data was the best.
Which highlights something critical, right? Practical, current knowledge,
Hmm.
even from a potential enemy, becomes absolutely vital for survival in these extreme situations.
Hierarchy, old loyalties, they just melt away when it's about who can actually get you through.
Exactly. And that gets tested almost immediately. The ship's food replicators fail the tech that makes food instantly. Suddenly, no food. Immediate deprivation. Hazmek's assessment is blunt. You can't fight or do much else on an empty stomach.
And that, we find out later, was the first act of sabotage. Deliberate.
Chilling. Especially when everyone's already on edge. And that hunger, that stress, it just ignites conflict.
Yeah, Groff's arrogance clashes with Lena Shansui's anger. It nearly comes to blows.
Until Picard steps in, firmly. On my ship, you will maintain order and behave like Starfleet officers.
You see him there not just as a captain, but like you said, a wartime psychologist trying to keep the lid on. What's the core leadership move there?
Maintaining control, right?
Right.
And that shared identity.
Exactly. He appeals to their Starfleet training, trying to impose some discipline, some shared purpose beyond their individual issues. He knows if they break down internally, the mission's doomed.
But his leadership keeps getting tested, like with the Romulan bargain.
Right. Hazmek, initially their prisoner, reveals he's a spy, his mission. Assess the wormhole for a potential Romulan-Dominion alliance.
And Picard, desperate, makes a deal.
A very risky one. Help us destroy the wormhole, Picard says, and I'll personally take you back to report its destruction, the goal being to ensure Romulan neutrality.
Wow. Talk about a deal with the devil. Blurs all the lines.
Absolutely. And Hazmek surprisingly proves useful almost right away. He bluffs a Cardassian Gull, a high-ranking officer.
Pretends to be a Romulan captain, uses his lost arm fighting the Federation as proof, and saves the Orb of Peace.
Picard calls it honor, but Hazmek corrects him. You mean, I lied with honor.
So it's not about traditional honor, it's situational ethics, survival.
Precisely. The takeaway is how extreme pressure just redefines morality. You make alliances, take actions unthinkable in peacetime, all for the objective.
In the midst of all this, Hazmek leads them somewhere called Death Valley.
Yeah, a graveyard of derelict ships, phase-shifting weirdly, a mystery piled upon mysteries. The local scavengers, the Talavians, think they're gifts from the spirit world.
And to get food and water, Picard has to plunder these ghost ships, sending Sam and Ro as hostages.
He's forced to. It's that desperate. But during that captivity, something else happens.
The human element emerges even in war. Sam and Ro connect. Talk life, death.
Sam's philosophy is live for today. Ro is more withdrawn emotionally. It leads to this passionate kiss.
A fleeting moment of connection, right? A reminder of humanity even when everything's falling apart.
These moments offer brief respite, but the mission clock is always ticking. Groff, still focused on himself, insists his isolinear chip, the data storage device.
With the wormhole schematics.
Yes, he insists it gets delivered to the Federation via the Talavians, his scientific legacy still paramount in his mind.
Meanwhile, there's another thread. Data?
Right, Commander Data, the android. Separated from the Enterprise, he's dodging Jem'Hadar, those Dominion soldiers landing on uninhabitable planets, playing possum, as the source says.
Trying to find the away team's subspace beacon, their communication device. His unique nature is key here, isn't it?
Absolutely. Being non-biological is his ultimate survival tool. He can hide where no human could. Back on the Orb of Peace, though, any peace is short-lived.
Tragedy strikes again when they get back from the Talavians. Lena Shansui, the transporter chief.
Found dead during a transport. No mark on her. Suspicion initially falls on Groff because they hated each other. She'd even said, she did, however, hate me.
But then Picard finds more. The subspace beacon is sabotaged, guidance off, relay disabled, and all the high-yield explosives destroyed.
The chilling realization hits hard.
An enemy is on board. Picard orders a two-person guard on the new replicator. No one is to be alone.
Think about that pressure. He can't start a witch hunt that would tear them apart. But he knows someone is actively working against them. The psychological strain.
Excruciating. Fighting an invisible enemy where any face could be a lie.
So Picard starts interrogating, subtly.
Right. He starts with Ro, then Torek. Asks if they'd submit to a mind meld, that Vulcan telepathic link.
A test of loyalty.
And both agree, gaining his trust. But then
He asks Jazarne Woyle. Woyle refuses, citing Antosian beliefs.
Picard doesn't hesitate. Orders Ro to stun him. During the forced mind meld, the truth comes out. The shocking reveal. Woyle is a changeling. A founder. In disguise.
These shapeshifters, the Dominion's rulers, perfect mimics, the ultimate infiltrators. Woyle rips off Rose's comm badge, stuns her.
It's the ultimate betrayal. The enemy wasn't just on board, they were part of the crew, observing, undermining everything. A total gut punch.
Imagine psychological impact. Realizing you've lived and worked beside someone who could be anyone. Devastating. And time is almost up.
Groff confirms. The wormhole is operational. A Jem'Hadar fleet arrives in 12 hours.
So Picard, LaForge, Groff, they scramble. Devise a new, desperate plan. Convert the last escape pod into a meteoroid decoy.
It's pretty ingenious. Launch the decoy jam sensors, then beam small teams to plant charges manually on the accelerator and the atmospheric center.
And Groff, he finally shifts. Initially reluctant to destroy his precious invention, Picard convinces him. He accepts the compromise to save the Federation.
A huge moment for him. Shows how dire straits can align even the most self-serving. But the Changeling isn't done yet.
No. Now impersonating Torek, it takes out Tamla Horek, destroys the Talavian freighter. Sabotage continues.
Ro escapes confinement, though. Rallies Sam and Hazmek. Picard's team corners the Changeling in the torpedo room.
And the Changeling reveals its true form, its motives, gather intel on Federation weaknesses, test them. It admits killing Lena Shansui, she was too smart, scanned it during transport.
And then Picard reveals something crucial.
Yes, his foresight. He had hidden Klingon disruptors, powerful weapons. Only he and Ro knew. The Changeling didn't find them.
Confirming Ro's loyalty right at the climax. A masterstroke of planning for betrayal.
Brilliant wartime leadership.
Yeah.
So with the Changeling neutralized, the attack launches.
The escape pod, disguised as a meteoroid, heads out. Picard, Data, Geordi, Groff, Sam on board.
Two-pronged strike. Data and Sam beam to the atmospheric center, flood it with hydrogen. Picard and Groff hit the accelerator control room.
But the final push demands sacrifice.
Immense sacrifice. Groff is hit by a Jem'Hadar, mortally wounded, lives just long enough to ask if his creation was damaged much.
And Sam gives him a comforting lie. Lets him die a hero, remembered for his design, not his flaws. That power of narrative again.
Then Ro Lauren, piloting the Orb of Peace, makes a desperate final run, absorbs enemy fire so Data's shuttle, the Cook, can rescue the teams.
The Orb of Peace is destroyed, but her sacrifice works. The collider erupts in flames. The Dominion fleet stopped.
And then the aha moment. Data, observing in his shuttle now armed with torpedoes, it turns out swoops in to rescue the survivors.
Just as the Enterprise arrives, repaired, thanks to Riker dealing with Captain Shayna Winslow, who was subtly delaying repairs to save crews from suicide missions.
The Enterprise answers Data's distress call, destroys a pursuing Jem'Hadar ship, just in time.
And the final piece. Riker reveals Groff's isolinear chip.
The one he insisted on saving.
It was recovered by a Talavian shuttle. It led the Enterprise right to the wormhole. His self-serving act ironically sealed the victory.
Incredible. Just incredible.
So we've had this extraordinary deep dive, haven't we? A mission defined by impossible odds. Picard's leadership, those unexpected alliances born of pure desperation.
And just the sheer will of this fractured crew turning defeat into a massive victory. We saw the personal cost of war, the ethical tightropes.
Those moments of courage and sacrifice that just redefine what heroism means.
And a mission.
Well,
a total success. Collider destroyed, Dominion fleet scattered, Deep Space Nine recaptured even. The source says the tide has turned in this lousy war, a huge turning point.
Picard acknowledges Ro's heroism, hints at a Starfleet commission for her.
Hazmek, the Romulan spy, he expects a promotion for his intel.
And Sam Lavelle and Ro Loran, forged in that fire, bound by trauma. They share this deeply emotional reunion.
It's a powerful story. Survival, transformation, the sheer unpredictability of conflict.
Yeah.
You know, in a world just saturated with information, this deep dive really shows how true understanding often comes from putting together disparate sources, conflicting loyalties, unexpected sacrifices. But leaves a question for you, listening. When you're faced with those impossible choices, how much of your own principles would you compromise for a greater good? And what really defines heroism when maybe everyone is just trying to survive? What stands out to you about how these characters got through it all? What leadership lessons do you take from Picard's journey here?